Alright, so here's what you're gonna need to know in order to trick others into thinking that you've played Nier. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, I'm gonna level with you. You really should play this game. I'm about to tell you, like, everything. This is one of the best games that I've played in a long time. But with that in mind, here's what you're gonna need to know in order to trick others into thinking that you've played Nier Automata. Throughout the game, you play as the characters 2B, 9S, and later on A2, who are all androids of a group called Yorha, who are in a constant battle with aliens and their machine creations. Yeah, I know it sounds odd, just stick with me. There are a total of 5 main routes. A is the route you'll be starting when you begin a new game. Playing as the lovely 2B, you start off on a mission trying to take out a Goliath-type enemy. You meet a scanner-type android named 9S, and at the end of the mission, you both blow each other up to complete it. Afterwards, you boot back up, and you head down from space to the androids on Earth to help them with their chores. You head out into the desert where we're greeted by one of Route A's main antagonists, Adam. You fight around for a bit before eventually having to flee. Then you head off into an amusement park and have to fight an opera singer. No, seriously, that's a thing.
Yes.
Afterwards, a robot approaches you to take them to their village. It's an entire group of peaceful robots.
Accept yourself. Love yourself.
Unfortunately, the peace doesn't last, as a Goliath-type enemy has begun fighting the city. After you defeat him, he explodes and creates a crater. And then, plot twist. It turns out the aliens were killed by their creations a long time ago, as the machines have evolved to be smarter than the creators. This is where we meet the other antagonist for Route A, Eve. After a bit more fighting and side quests,
Oh my god.
we're eventually given the opportunity to kill Adam.
Let us embrace death.
Oh no!
And then a bit later, Eve. Unfortunately, during the fight, 9S gets infected, and 2B is the one to have to put him down. But, plot twist, he uploaded his data to the nearby robots in the surrounding area, and that's where Route A ends. Route B is Route A, but from 9S's perspective, nothing really changes. Oh no wait, there's that one thing. 9S learns that humanity died a long time ago, and Yorha was a project to save android morale, to give them something to fight for. Yorha's attempting one last push against the machines, only for a virus to come out of nowhere, crippling Yorha. 2B and 9S are unaffected as they never synced up to the network, and they head back to base, where unfortunately the virus is there as well. They escape, and the commander sets the base to self-destruct. But unfortunately on their way back, 2B gets infected, and asks A2 to put her down. But not before 9S gets the wrong idea on the whole thing.
2B! Are you?
It's just a prank, bruh!
And then a giant machine tower grows out of the ground. You fight on a bit more as A2 and then eventually 9S. Eventually you're able to enter the tower, and then it turns out, guess what? It turns out there's several Yorha units that have come before you, and this is a never-ending cycle of life and death. Cheery, isn't it?
Things that bother you never bother me. I feel happy and fine. Ha-ha! Living in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful time. Having got a lot, I don't need a lot, 'cause he's only a dime. Living in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful time.
And you're greeted by the final boss of Route C, the Machine Collective Unit. It's the collective consciousness of every machine that you've been fighting, and the only way to defeat it is to not fight it. As the smarter it gets, the machines inside it begin to disagree with one another, causing them to turn on each other. But now A2 and 9S are facing each other, and we get to find out that 2B's original use was to kill 9S if he ever found out about Project Yorha. Going under the codename 2B, her original designation was E for execution. But before they fight, you're given a choice on who you want to control, and depending on who you pick will determine the ending. A2 gives you ending C, and 9S gives you ending D. A2 cuts off the 2B arm and hacks herself into 9S, where she then sacrifices herself to fix 9S's corruption. 9S is taken away, and the tower collapses. Next! A2 is about to finish 9S off, but A2 has a flashback to 2B and is unable to move, and 9S gets the upper hand and stabs her. But unfortunately in the process, he gets stabbed himself, and they both perish. The network, having changed its mind, launches a missile containing all the machine's data into space, and 9S is given the choice on whether or not he would want to go with them. This ending is only accessible after doing ending C and D. All the Yorha data is being terminated, but Pod 042 grows a heart at the last second and decides to salvage 2B, 9S, and A2's data, who we then see at the end being rebuilt, and the pods hope that they will forge a new path in their life. Woo! That was a doozy. Are you still here? You still with me? This game is one hell of a roller coaster to new fans, and old fans alike. And lucky for you, the Nier and Drakengard series are considered niche, with Automata being the only one to make it to mainstream. So likely you'll only be talking about Nier Automata, and not its predecessors. But anyways, I hope this was enough to get you through any conversation on the game. And as always, if you'd like to learn more on the game and its plot, then I encourage you to play the full game. That's it from me. Bye bye!
Jerusalem.